So, Warlords of Draenor is changing to Legion, except it's still Warlords of Draenor, but with Legion things in it. Now, there are some last minute things you should know about before the pre-patch goes out. Now, of course, you probably already know that you won't be able to do Brawlers Guild once patch 7.0 goes out. You probably know you won't be able to do challenge mode. You probably know you won't be able to start the legendary quest line, but if you're a fair way into it, you will be able to complete it as long as you do so before Legion itself goes live at the end of August. You probably know that the Garrison missions are going to hell, so the gravy train has come into the station on its last stop. But there are 3 things you may not know that don't seem to be widely reported that you absolutely should know, and that's what I'm going to go through here. Now, I'm afraid I've only got limited images to show you here. I went onto the PTR to get more, but it is down along with the beta. Presumably doing some last minute fiddling about before they go live. Of course, it's going live in America very, very shortly. I'm not going to wait for it to come back up because, of course, this is all quite urgent. And if you don't learn this now, it may be too late as soon as the patch goes live. So the first of the 3 things is a relatively harmless one if you do miss it. But if you happen to have, related to the Garrison, lots of the armour and weapon upgrades for your followers, and you just realise to yourself, actually, I know at some point I'm just going to sell these to a vendor. There's nothing else I can do with them. Better to do that before the patch goes live, because when the patch goes live, they are not worth anywhere near as much. You can see here, I could sell these now on live for several gold. As soon as the pre-patch goes live, it's like worth a silver. It's just worth coppers. So for things that you know you're going to sell to a vendor, just do it earlier rather than later. It's not uncommon when the patch goes live for you for costs to go down. It's quite rare that something will be worth more to a vendor when it goes live. It's very common for it to be worth a lot less. So look it through your bags, think to yourself, am I actually going to keep this in the long term? Am I going to use it? If the answer to those questions is no, and you know you're going to sell it to a vendor, sell it now. Okay, the next thing may be quite important to some people, and that is to do with weapon enchants. Now, the other enchants are fine with this, they're okay. But weapon enchants on the PTR, and this of course is going to be reflected when patch 7.0 goes live, has a new little line there, which means that it can only be applied to an item up to and including item level 749. Now, of course, for the vast majority of people, that is more than fine. However, if you have a mythic Archimonde Warforged weapon, that's item level 751 if you have upgraded it with Valor. Ooh, now that suggests you can't upgrade it. Now, unfortunately, I do not have such a weapon, so I've not been able to test to be absolutely certain, because what you notice when you go into your inventory, even though it says it's eye level 751, it's sort of still, in some respects, says it's 741 because that's what it should be. It's only 751 because you upgraded it with Valor. However, it is best to be safe than sorry. Many specs, well, all the specs are changing, and your priorities, your secondary stat priorities may well be changing as well. So if you decide that you're going to want to re-enchant your weapon and you have a 751 weapon, it is safer to be able to do that earlier rather than later. The other thing to note is if you are planning on crit enchants, or if you're into crit enchants, there will, as soon as this goes live, be 2 types of crit enchant, because the multi-strike enchant is disappearing because there's no multi-strike. It's going to change to crit. Now, the final thing is related to trinkets. All of the Hellfire Citadel trinkets are being nerfed down to normal values. Yes, that's right. All my lovely mythic Hellfire Citadel trinkets are going to be nerfed down to be as good as a normal level trinket, and this applies to heroic as well. So what you need to do is, the item level is now a lie. It's not actually that item level. It's the same as a normal level trinket. Now, if you have normal level trinkets, nothing really changes there. Use whatever trinkets you'd use. But if you are using heroic and mythic trinkets at the moment, they may still be useful, because if they're still good at normal level values, then that's fine. But of course, other trinkets now start to compete. The heirloom trinket, which isn't changed at all and remains worth a 715 item level one, you may want to change to that one. The Dark Moon Fair trinkets may well be worth a lot more, because of course they haven't really changed as well. They're 715 at the top end, and of course they can be upgraded with Valor as well to be 725. In fact, the Dark Moon Fair trinkets are starting to look very, very powerful indeed. And again, you might find that the prices go up as soon as the patch goes live. So if you're thinking that actually maybe you'll benefit one of those, maybe get it earlier rather than later as well. So I hope those things have been useful to you. If anyone's got any other little tips last minute, put them in the comments below so people can see it, because for those in America, of course, you've got, or playing on the American servers or on that sort of schedule, you've got very, very little time to sort this thing out before it all changes. In Europe, we get an extra day. This doesn't come out till Wednesday, but you need to get it sorted earlier rather than later. The sky's not going to fall if you don't. At the end of the day, nothing is like ruinous here, but just bear in mind. One last little thing I will just say on the weapons: don't worry too much if you're going to get one after the pre-patch. Just remember to enchant it before you upgrade it with Valor, and everything should be good. So if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and share it with other people you think might be interested, which basically is anyone who's playing World of Warcraft at the moment. And until next time, I'll see you later.